Is it okay to believe that the earth is flat? Well, some people say no. Some people are fundamentally bothered by flat earthers, and I don't quite comprehend this. I think it's really, really simple. There's ways to measure water, and you can't find one way to measure water and get it to be curved. So we have water ball pictures of this earth, and those pictures are showing curved water. So the land surveyors and the water surveyors go, the way we measure is by triangulating slope, essentially, and we run a string, and then under that string we run a level, and then if there's a drop, we make a triangle. Well, when you do it on water, you get zero. and every flat earther understands this, and most flat earthers have their own favorite way of measuring water and explaining it to people. Yeah, this is why I believe that those space pictures are fake. Then people come back and say, no, I can't let you believe this. And they think we're stupid. And it's quite frustrating because it really just wastes a lot of time. We're not dumb. We think the water's too flat to be curved to those space pictures, and you might be the dum-dum. So throughout the years, people have tried to come up with a way to prove flat earthers wrong. So they can't measure water, and in some places they can't measure the land either to show a curve, so they got to revert to plan B. So they'll say, hey, we're going to take you on a flight from the southern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere without going in the northern hemisphere. So they have these alleged flights that go from Santiago, Chile, or they go from Perth, Australia to South Africa. Well, on a ball, yeah, you could just fly under the bottom of your ball. But guess what? They can't do it. So they were going to take a bunch of flat earthers to do this flight years ago, and it got canceled. And there's flat earthers that even tried to book this flight throughout the years, and it got canceled. So then they bring up these 24-hour suns. So allegedly they have 6 months of a 24-hour sun in the north and 6 months of a 24-hour sun in the south. 6 months of the yellow thing in the sky without setting. That's what they say. And there's 3 days in the north that it has been seen, but never substantially in the south. So there are videos where they say there's 24-hour suns in Antarctica. But again, it's not substantial footage, and it's something that flat earthers have always said, hey, show me. Like, you have internet down there. Is it possible? Well, it's not very likely. It's a triangulation issue. So you have it in the north, its size, its distance, its speed. If the circumference is too big, you're here on the Gleason map, the sun is going to be closer to you. It's going to be above you. And yeah, as it rotates around you, it does triangulate. So anytime you see a sunset, you see a sunset rise from the bottom of the triangle. You see it set at the bottom of the triangle. Every time at noon, you see it high above you. So the issue with this final experiment situation is they're bringing a guy who's failed flat Earth 4 times. So he was recently in the Netflix documentary Behind the Curve, and he did the same thing he's been doing for 10 years with flat Earth, where he goes to Home Depot, he buys a $25 laser, and he shoots it through a circle at 3 miles. And he never gets it through the circle. Well, we know he's not going to get it through the circle because he never buys an expensive enough laser to do so. And then it always floats up in the air, and then they say, oh, you proved it's a ball. He's been doing it for 10 years. And most flat earthers know that this guy from the beginning is just taking a dive on purpose. And this guy has already given them their soundbite that they need.
No, it's anybody with any intelligence realizes that the sun cannot be going around somebody in Antarctica and the earth be flat.
And what he's saying is you can't have it south of you. That's their soundbite. That's all they needed, and that's why they're using him. So flat earthers aren't stupid, and we know exactly what they're going to do. What they're going to do is they're going to film the sun at noon when it's right above you. So again, it always rises at the bottom of the triangle, sets on the other side of the triangle, and then at noon, it's at the top of the triangle. And it's going to be directly above their head, and it's going to be really easy to show that sun in any direction you want to at noon. So they're going to take a few steps out, about face, show the sun, show a compass, say it's south, say, oh, it looks really south. They're going to get Jaron to say, it looks really south. Oh, it looks like it's behind us. Oh, that's interesting. That's their soundbite. Boom. And then they're not going to show the sun at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to see it for 24 hours. I need to see it from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I really need to see it from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's really when I want to see it. I don't care about your noon sun. I do understand that you're going to be able to show that sun looking like it's behind you at noon. I understand that. Will Duffy has already reached out to me and he said, how can you have a sun south of you in Antarctica? Because you can do a camera trick, man. We understand that. We are not stupid human beings. You see the sun off of a triangulation. You always do. In the summer, in the northern hemisphere, you see it in closer to you, and you see it at a higher triangulation. In the winter, you see it farther away from you, and you see it at a bigger triangulation. And it's just making circles around you, and it's explained through perspective very simply. And all flat earthers know this. And they also know all the camera tricks, and they also know that Jaron is going to take a dive. There's no secrets here. It's super obvious what they're doing. They're going to come back. They're not going to show us 8 hours of footage. They're most likely going to have a Disney production or some big distributor come in and, probably buy the rights to it. And then, we'll probably even have to wait a couple months. And, if they do something like that, I'm not watching. I just want to see that sun. This is really interesting. And I would love to see a sun from Antarctica, but I want to see like 8 hours of it. I don't care about your noon sun, man. I do care about your midnight sun. I want to see it at midnight. I don't want to see it at noon. I don't want to see it behind you. It's going to look behind you. Sure, you can make it look behind you. You can make it look at any direction you want to at noon because you always see the sun off of triangulation. And we're not stupid human beings, man. We know what you're doing, and it's not cool. And you picked Jaron, and therefore this thing is a complete scam.